Hello world of YouTube and the Rocker Nation. I'm here today to do something I don't do a lot on this channel, and that's specific album reviews. I review discographies and discography updates on new albums from the bands I've reviewed, but I don't normally just sit down and review a specific album from an artist. Granted, this is the debut album, but it's from an artist that's well established in the rock world. I'm talking about Jack White and his debut solo album, Blunderbuss, which actually came out today. Sami reviewed it. A bunch of people have reviewed it by now. Probably Funny Press did one, Needle Drop did one, and I'm here to contribute my 2 cents on the Jack White album. To start off, do I like the album? God, yes I do. This album is fantastic. I'm a huge Jack White fan. I love everything he's done, really. Even that James Bond track, I really dug that track, actually. Him and Alicia Keys, really good combo. They should do more collaborations together, because it was a really good collabo. But anyway, the album. It starts off with a bit of a left-field sound, somewhat. It just was a really out-of-touch sound for me at first, but I really dug it still, nonetheless. I was like, oh, this is nice. And that's kind of what you get with this album. You get a lot of really new sounds, but you don't mind them. At least new to Jack White, if you're a long-time Jack White fan. Like, you have your familiar territories, like the 16 Saltines and stuff like that, but you get a lot of really new territory, like the title track, Blunderbuss, which I'm surprised I liked. Starting off with the track, I was like, what is this country tingedness? Because if you know me, you know I'm not a huge fan of country. I really don't like the genre, aside from, like, bluegrass is really where I get my country fix. But I really dug the title track to this album. I think Jack White could do this genre justice, and I would buy his records. I would be a proud Jack White country album owner if he put out a country album. Purely, I mean, it would take some getting used to still, because the one thing I really hate about country music is the overall vibe. There's just the steel guitar and but I digress. It's still a great track, and this album is filled with just fantastic new things and old things. Like, you have the really kind of, I liked the rockabilly sounds too, like on I'm Shakin', which had this like Sami said in his review, it has this very kind of 50s style vibe, and I really dug that. Like, it's one decade of music I don't delve into much, but I do have my fixes occasionally, my needs for it, and that definitely filled it, even though I wasn't completely expecting it, because even though I watched reviews, I hadn't really heard anything. I kept myself really blind to this release, so going into this record, I was like, alright, Jack White, what do you got for me? Like, I didn't listen to 16 Saltines when it came out, or Freedom at 21 when it was leaked, because I was like, I want to kind of go into this blind. I want to go into this record deaf. I want to go, alright, I get all the positive press it's getting, but I don't want to hear any hype track. I don't want to get hype for the album based on any tracks, because sometimes that leads it to be kind of a letdown. In some cases. I wasn't expecting that from Jack White, but still nonetheless. This record, I mean, just, it was surprising with the turns it made for me. I wasn't really used to a lot of piano-driven stuff from Jack, especially just with, like, him and a piano. Like, on a... What's the name of the track? It was one of the later tracks in the album, where he's just him and a piano, and it was awesome. It was very it seemed very personal, and I liked that side of it. I liked that side of Jack, and I dug this album. And I think if you dig Jack White, you're gonna fucking love this release. Fantastic release today. If you have not gotten it, please pick it up. Please support Jack White's awesomeness. He deserves it, because the man is one of my favorite musicians out now. You know, I mean, the man has really done, to me, he's done really no bad work. I just remembered he did those tracks last year with ICP. Nonetheless, Jack White is still an amazing musician. He does a lot of interesting things on this record. He has certain nuances that add a new flavor to his style that you wouldn't expect, and I definitely dug this release. The parts that are typical Jack White are done fairly well. The solos, like the solo to 16 Saltines, and the one that was really just kind of out there, it was very, like, the guitar was just like, it was like flicking off and on. Like, it was like he was like breaking strings almost, but like muting the broken strings. It was weird. That's the best way I can describe it. But that solo and the 1 to 16 saltines and any of those rockin' tracks, they worked really well, and they brought me back to that Jack White sound, but it also opened my eyes to new stuff that Jack White could do, that I'm glad that he can do. It shows his versatility as a musician. It shows that he isn't just nailed down to one specific niche. While he has developed that niche very well, I wasn't disappointed with his release whatsoever. I look forward to new stuff with Jack White. I always do, and I'm always excited for... I was really anticipating this release, and I'm glad it's here. I'm glad I love it. Hopefully, if you listen to the album, you love it too. If you haven't seen Sami's channel, what? Most of you found me through his channel. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much... Those are my 2 cents on the new Jack White release. Fantastic musicianship. Fantastic lyricism. Haven't really talked about the lyricism of Jack White, but Jack White has a really interesting way of wording things, and he has a really cryptic way of wording, of phrasing his songs. And that's one of the things I really love about Jack White, is his attention to lyrical detail. And that really shines on this as well. And this album is great. Definitely, probably gonna stay on a good list for me. That I love this release. I don't do ranks. I don't do numbers. If you haven't seen a review of mine, I don't do numbers. I'm sorry. This is not my thing. I just like to discuss an album, what I like about it, what I don't. I really have nothing that I don't like about this album. This album is great, start to finish. So I highly recommend it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this small review. I do written reviews now as well. I don't think I told you guys. I did tell you guys on my main channel about that, or on this channel about that I do. It's linked below to the blog. I gotta post a new review tonight. But anyway, hopefully you like this review. Check out Sami's channel. It's linked below. He's an awesome dude. He gave me a nice little shout out in the live show yesterday when I was on the video question. So thank you for that, Sami. I thanked you in a tweet, but thank you again. And thank you for having this channel that has helped me garner this pseudo popularity on YouTube, and because of the responses, because you always talk about things that pique my interest. I've done this as well to you, but I still can't thank you enough for having an awesome channel and for being just an awesome guy. So thank you. You guys have good days, loves, and situations, and I'll see you another day. That was a quick review of the Jack White album, but he's fucking awesome. I can't stress that enough. Get it.